If you're a new seller on Fiverr, there are a lot of unknowns. How am I supposed to price things? What should my gig specifically be? What kind of audience should I be targeting? And how am I able to get over that initial hurdle to start getting my first couple orders and build up a sustainable business? I'm super biased here, but I think that one of the best options for you is to consult with a seller who has done it successfully. And obviously, I think that's great because that's a service that I offer. And as a top-rated pro verified seller, I work with freelancers who are either just getting started or are looking to cross that first hurdle to take their business to the next level, or maybe even just to restructure and optimize once they've got things going down the road and to solve specific problems. And in doing so, during that consultation, everything is personalized to the specific questions and problems that these clients have. And I often pitch this because I think it's a great option for you guys. Obviously, I give you lots of free content here on YouTube as well. There are more than 200 free videos with advice in general, so go ahead and start there. But if you're looking for personalized advice and suggestions that are tailored to you, a consultation might be the best next step. So I wanted to share an example, some clips, a little look inside a consultation that I did with one of my subscribers named Darsh D. Darsh actually won this consultation with me for free as part of a giveaway with the release of my book, which is hanging out back there, Without Disruption. If you haven't ordered it yet, please be sure to go check that out at carriefrenchauthor.com. It is a dystopian sci-fi novel and you're gonna love it. And Darsh so graciously suggested that he thought you guys would get a lot of value out of seeing what a consultation like this looks like. So he is the best. He offered and said, you know what, I would love to have you record this, share it, and see if other people get as much value out of it as I did. Well, those are his words, not mine. Really quick, hey, I'm Carrie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the very first time. All around, welcome. I'm Carrieblogger, a career freelancer on Fiverr.com, where I've been selling as a Fiverr Pro verified copywriter for about the past 9 years. And in today's video, like I said, we are going through a consultation that I had with Darsh, a freelance strategy assessment to make sure that he gets the best start to his new seller profile on Fiverr. But before we get into that, we have to announce this week's Blogger of the Week. And if you would like to be the Blogger of the Week, just like Cressida Clarence, all you have to do is drop a comment down below and you might get picked.
Hello, good evening, Carrie. Thank you for this opportunity.
Hello. So you're doing so many things, like even I get a little lost in like all the things you're doing. And as a result of that, I feel like you were not doing everything as well as you could be. And so one of your issues was, time management and getting like a focused, strong approach. And if you're so split on everything, you're not gonna find success in one area. So you can see it, maybe it hasn't been clear to you. I listed out all the things that you say you do, like in all of these places. So that's a long list. You can totally overwrite me here, but in my opinion, your 3 strongest skills are writer, blogger, and reviewer. Does that vibe with you? Writer, blogger, reviewer, that seems like where you want to go?
Yes, I agree with you. For graphic designing, I need to learn more about graphic design software. I need to actually upskill myself.
Yeah, looking at the skills that I can see from you, I think those are the strongest. And so might as well just lean into your strengths where you're going to have to do the least amount of upskilling and just actually like push forward with a stronger start. Above all, if I'm being like brutally honest, which I say with like as much love as I can, it all just looks really chaotic right now. So that's not the vibe you want to promote to your clients. You want to promote to them that you are in control, you know your strengths, you don't think you can do everything. Like I can do some graphic design, but I'm not selling that as a service because I want to seem focused and like professionally aimed. So that's kind of what we have to do next. Your writing is really on track. Like I think that you, especially how you organize your ideas, like you have a really good sense of like thematics and just good ideas in general from what I've read. But some of your actual writing technique needs a little bit of work. It's not bad. That's why I still think that this is your stronger point, but some of those pieces just need a little bit of work. So I think the best idea for you at this stage would be to actually hire a professional editor to go through your writing, because they're going to nitpick all of those little mistakes. And over time, when you see those same mistakes come up again and again and again, you're going to learn, oh, this is always the time I use a hyphen. Oh, it makes more sense if I cut out this word here and flip the sentence around.
No, not officially. I never hired an editor, but I agree with you. With the initial phase, I need to learn through an editor.
Okay, so the blogging and reviewing side, I actually have experience with this because one of my first gigs was for a blog that I had and to sell promotions on it. And that was like one of the most successful things I started with. So I have info on that. Yeah. So just really making sure that it's clean, professional, and then is set up to have an audience. The purpose of the blog needs to be defined in like one sentence. So for example, the blog that I had back in the day, if I just summed it in one sentence, I would say I celebrate a national holiday every single day and share positive slice of life commentary along the way. That's the entire concept of the blog. And in that one sentence, you know, kind of who brand wise would fit into that, right? It's like a positive, upbeat, personal kind of blog. It's about me. So there's a little bit more of like a feminine audience, a feminine tone of voice. I was in college at the time, so that's like youthful millennial audience. And in terms of the national holiday, that means that every single day is different, right? So it's not locked into one particular niche. So this one sentence really tells you the kind of content I'm posting, the tone of voice, and who I will serve in terms of getting promotions on the blog. So that's your ultimate challenge because like I said, you do so much. And so you need to be able to define it in one small sentence. Because for example, if you like go hardcore into space and you're like, space is going to be, this is the space and aerobiology or whatever, not aerobiology, aeronautics blog. Think about the number of clients who are going to fit into that is quite small, which having a niche is great, but maybe that's a little too niche. If you wanted to go like the finance route, which is what your education is in, I'm surprised that that's not more of what you're focusing on. Are you interested in working in like the finance topic area?
Yes, I think I need to write more about finance, but I thought that since there is lots of stuff going on in the finance sector, NFTs, mutual funds, and crypto and other stuff, I thought that people would think that I'm trying to sell them something instead of just sharing knowledge.
Yeah. And again, with that, in terms of not selling, but being able to sell it as a platform that people would want to promote on, just make sure that that story is open enough to entice brands to potentially want to work with you. Trying to think about a story context that will live over time, that if someone pays for a link on that blog, that people would still want to read it later, or that it would still be search relevant later. Okay, so the actual gigs that you're going to offer on Fiverr, as you've heard in my videos, probably 5 to 7 is about the sweet spot that I recommend. And so I couldn't fill this out yet because I needed to have this conversation to see, you know, where you're going. But I think that realistically having like 3 writing gigs would be ideal. Thinking about the end customer who's going to purchase those 3 things. Like if someone's going to need a pitch deck for their startup, they're probably also not going to need a fashion blog, right? So those 2 things wouldn't serve the same kind of customer. So defining who you want to work with and think 3 things that fit your niche expertise in the finance world, in the marketing world, and making sure that it's 3 things they would want to get. Yeah. And then the next one is maybe promote your link, your brand, whatever, on my blog, and then review your link, your brand, whatever, on my blog. Yeah. So in terms of the actual writing type that you have the most experience with, like in your education, in your personal job, in the past, what kind of writing were you mostly doing?
Let people know what is NFT, what is blockchain, and what is inflation, how it affects you, or the current political situation or war situation, how it affects the oil and how that oil price affects the inflation because all the prices go up, and how it actually makes your life worse, and how you can manage it to make it even better through investment, saving, or anything else. So I think this kind of idea, I never thought about it before this consulting. So thank you so much for giving me this idea about how I can utilize this finance knowledge and apply it to my blogging, even my videos. And that's really great. And it shows how well you're with your analytic skills and consulting. So thank you so much. That's awesome.
Thanks. That's so nice. Yeah. And just in terms of what those specific products are going to be, look back on the experience you have, because that's always where you're going to mostly want to build off of. And also just search in Fiverr for finance types of writing, and you'll see the different products that come up. You can see what other people are offering that might even give you ideas of like, oh, I never thought of writing an annual budget report. Like if that's something you have experience in, that's something a company might need to outsource writing for. Okay. So at the end, your email had some concerns and questions. So let's just run through those. Time management. We already talked a little bit about. I think it won't be a problem for you, honestly, if you can just cut out all of the other stuff and just focus on one particular project. project. And the strategy I use and talk about all the time on my channel is to set a clear, long-term, concrete goal. And then you're going to plan backwards with micro steps and schedule them out so that by the time you finish on the end date, you will have reached that goal. And then last question was about portfolio. In terms of where you will share it, you can even just do like a Google Drive link. That would be totally fine, and just create a couple of them. You don't need very many samples. You need samples that match the target audience you want to convert and clearly show the style that you're going to offer. And again, you're not going to target everybody. So maybe 5 or 6 samples, and just for each sample, think of an imaginary client you'd really like to work with and write to them.
Because they have to make quick decisions for company or even for their own self. So I agree with you. Focus and a few pages.
Yes, max a few pages. Simplify every concept you do. This is your challenge specifically, to 1 sentence. Every single thing you think, I'm going to do this project, I'm going to do this type of work, I'm going to work with this kind of person. If you can't say it in 1 sentence, your idea is too broad. Less communication. Like I said jokingly, it was like an overwhelmingly thorough answer that you gave me to prepare for this call.
Yes.
Which I appreciate, and I think it's charming, and I get that that's like your personality and it's cool. I think that if you sent that to a client, they would be like, I don't have time to read this. So less communication, fewer services, fewer links to all these different things, because you've got like an Instagram for 3 types, and you've got 3 types of YouTubes, and you got 3 types of websites. So just
yes.
Fewer everything. Cool. Okay. It has been lovely meeting you. I've seen a million of your comments and stuff, so it's cool to like chat with you in person. I hope that this is, helpful for you. And
yeah, I would like to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to learn. And your analysis is awesome. And I think more people need to take help from you. I really appreciate you giving your time and expertise. So you're really generous, you're an expert, and you're a great human being. Thank you so much, Carrie.
Thanks. That's so nice. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, you are my actual hero. Please be sure to check out the links to stuff I've got going on in the pinned comment and description down below, including a link to my freelance consulting gig if you would like to work with me one-on-one for personalized strategy advice. And of course, you are worth so much more than your workload. Let's get back to work.